Hello, everybody out there. Valley Allen Henshaw here, coming from my apartment. I've been thinking and researching a couple of topics. The main one is how big the teachers' union has got and how corrupt it is now. See, not only when it was first started, it was to give teachers a union so that they could get better wages and everything else and have the education system actually work. However, now the teachers union is one of, if not the biggest lobbyist group in this country. And the reason I'm bringing this up about the teachers union is ever since the pandemic was done, ever since the Democrats and Chinese released COVID, actually, to be more precise, they released the Wuhan coronavirus, which is funny how they just turned that into COVID, but that's another story. The teachers union has been using the what I can only describe as mafia and Gestapo tactics to try to silence parents. Ever since the kids got back in school and they started teaching CRT, which is critical race theory, which is based on a book from I believe it's the 60s or the 50s. And even that book was supposed to only be in colleges where people have fully functioning, fully developed brains. But the union saw a great way to divide. The Democrats saw a great way to divide, and they started pushing it into schools, into high school, into elementary school, junior high, preschool, and the teachers union, has went so far as to say that people have to file FOIA requests or, records requests to know what their kids are being taught in school. Last time I looked, as a parent, you have the right to know what your kid's being taught. Not a privilege, you have the right, nay, the responsibility to know exactly what your child or children is being taught at any time. It's part of being a parent and being able to raise a responsible, well-rounded adult. But yet the union wants you to file all these paperwork. And then when you do file a lot of paperwork, a lot of, requests and have all your questions on them, and you have a lot of questions, so you file a lot more paperwork. What do? They either sue the hell out of you or they threaten to sue you just to shut you up. Now, my recollection of history is these are some of the same tactics that were used in the very beginning by the Nazis. Now, I'm not usually comfortable with calling people Nazis or Nazi sympathizers unless they truly prove that they are. However, in this particular case, the only two words that come to mind when I think about this, and I've been doing a lot of research into it, is communist and Nazis. This country used to stand for freedom. This country used to stand for right and wrong. We in the 80s we would have never let any of this shit fucking slide. So what the fuck has happened? Well, 3 Democratic presidents, each one chipping away at parental rights, each one chipping away at our personal American God-given rights, until finally you have what we see here, which is what the communists have been trying to do and planning on doing for the last 50 years. Actually, no, now it's probably more like the last 80 years. At least 80 years. Since World War II. So, I guess good for them for playing the long game, but I'll tell you this. It's not going to work. You see, they had to release the virus to get Trump out of office due to the fact that our economy was coming back in a huge way under Trump. We had a lot of good things going on, but the Democrats had to stoke the fires of racial division and had their minions, aka Antifa, aka BLM, which, by the way, BLM is very, very, very racist, because they're saying Black Lives Matter like they're the only lives that matter. No. All lives matter. No one, whether he's white, black, brown, yellow with orange fucking polka dots, should be killed by a cop for no reason. And I'll fucking gladly stand it any day of the week with someone who fucking thinks that. And I'll stand against any cop who fucking kills someone for no reason. But the truth is that the teachers' union has become like an unofficial, weaponized arm of the government. And last I knew, that wasn't supposed to happen. They can have lobbyists. Hell, the largest lobbyist group, one of the largest lobbyist groups in the world is, well, at least in the States anyway, is AARP. Another one is the NRA. And then you have Teachers Credit. Then you have Teachers Union. I'm pretty sure those are the top 3 other than oil. So, how did something that was started not that long ago, but mind you, it was started in, I believe, the 90s. How did that get this big this quick? Well, let's think about it. It was started with government funding. It was giving all kinds of tax breaks at first. And it blew up. The fact that they are now threatening and in some cases suing parents for wanting to know what their child is taught violates so many of our ethical guidelines of law, as well as several of our constitutional rights and our God-given inalienable rights, which, by the way, inalienable means that they can never be taken away. So, think about that. The Democrats want us totally reliant on the government. They want a big government. They want communism. and they want the government to be the kids' mommy and daddy. No. You see, those of us like myself who are independent, we look at the facts. We look at the truth. We don't just look and say, well, I'm a Republican, so I'm going to say what the Republican says. No. I look at everything and I make an informed decision. That's something that the Democrats don't want you doing. They don't want you to make an informed decision. So they start the indoctrination, is what they call it. I call it brainwashing. At an age when you don't know that that's what they're doing. And they block the parents from knowing what's going on by saying, well, if you want to know the curriculum, you got to fill out all this paperwork and submit information requests, and you got to write down all your questions, and then we can answer. Last I knew, the only way to get something fixed and to get information was to have a discussion face to face with people and get information so that you can be well informed and prepared for the debate or the discussion. Now, my advice to all parents out there, or even those who are thinking of becoming parents, or who might be becoming parents, who might become a parent later on, is to know your rights and know that when you have a child, it's not about you anymore. It's about that child and doing what's right for that child. So, that means sometimes having to fight what seems like a losing battle. But in the end, if you hold true to your beliefs and you don't let anybody move you from it, and you keep putting in the work and keep being a big enough pain in their ass, you will win. That's just how it goes. Because in the end, right always comes out and the lies are always exposed. I heard once a saying, and it's a very true saying, and that is, without light, there could be no darkness. Without darkness, there can be no light. It's a yin and yang thing. We need the balance of the light and dark, the good and the evil. There's a balance. But right now, that balance seems to be screwed. And when something gets out of balance, it throws everything else out of whack. And when it comes to our kids' education, everyone should know what is being taught in a school so that they can help the child do better in school and be a better, well-rounded individual. Until next time, I'll be seeing you.